What you just heard there from the mayor came after Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes gave brief statements.
Is there anything you would have done differently in the past 48 hours?
Preceding President Trump's address to Congress tonight, hundreds of protesters gathered. Now the rotunda essentially empty right now, but take a look at the scene just under an hour ago. This is the bus that crashed. It looks like it's about to be towed away now. Snow and ice removal the Wisconsin way, using cheese to treat the wintry roads. Except it looks a little less like this and a little more like this. And Harris's base here in Wisconsin is Dane County, it is Madison, and it is those young voters. The battleground taking form in these front yards might change your mind. As you can see here behind me, debris is really all that's left. About that sight and sound, you finally came to that agreement.
Yeah, we did come to that agreement. It's good.
I took the records to the board members themselves. How do you respond to community members?
Made its way inside the Capitol right around 3 o'clock. I would say that one was about 500 people. Organizers say the event will really get the ball rolling for an economic boost around all of Madison. Having one?
No, you can.
Just me? Oh no. Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now with a cream puff.
Oh, look at her enjoy that treat.
And the Schwant family tells me what we're looking at is really the loss of a lifetime.
We're just thankful that we're alive because we really should not have been alive. Trust me, it was so bad.
It's hard to talk, let's put it that way. This is a nightmare.
Sitting between a crushed silo, fallen power lines, and fragments of barn walls, Bob Schwant Jr. and Sr. say just 24 hours ago, this land was their entire lives.
That was our livelihood, but it got wiped out instantly. In the wink of an eye, everything was over.
Yep, it was gone in a heartbeat.
Bob Jr. tells me his wife went to the basement for shelter early in the evening. He would still be working outside when the storm came through.
When she heard everything going, she just figured she was stuck indoors. They were just so happy when I came in. And when I told them everything was leveled, they just broke down bawling.
The Schwant's human family members are all safe, but there are nearly 150 cows who Bob Sr. says are just as much family scattered.
They're special friends of ours that we live for and they live for us.
Up all night thinking of their cows and the land they poured decades into.
A steel harvester silo, 80 foot, bent just like a pipe. And any machinery that was outside, it's all mangled and there's nothing left of it but just iron, metal for scrap.
The Schwants say it's too soon to tell if the farm is a total loss or not. But one way or the other,
No, we'll get through it, I guess.
I feel like sometimes my cartoons can't compete with what politicians actually say nowadays, which is wild. Some of it, you can't exaggerate it. It's already a caricature of itself.
they say fact is stranger than fiction. And as a cartoonist, that's exactly the way Phil Hands likes it.
There's always something going on. There's always somebody saying something outlandish or outrageous, because that's the politics we live in nowadays.
And while most reporters put those outlandish statements into headlines, Hands squeezes them into speech bubbles.
How do I add this pop culture element to talk about this deep political issue? Or how do I add something lighthearted to talk about this weighty issue?
Next time you see a Phil Hands original, look for a fish mug in Tony Evers' hands, a nod to the governor's holy mackerel catchphrase, or Donald Trump's comically small fists, referring to his 2016 spat with Marco Rubio about the size of his hands. It's those little details that he hopes can bring some much-needed humor to an increasingly volatile political landscape.
Taking respectable politicians and making them look buffoonish, and nowadays our politicians, are pretty wild and crazy as they are. My job is to sort of have fun with it. Don Old. It's so unique and so special.
And while there's a gold mine of content on the national stage this year, Hands has always preferred punchlines that land here in Wisconsin.
And then, that's one of those ones where gets the Madison people all riled up.
Getting people riled up is one of Hans's favorite parts of the job.
When you see a cartoon, you're like, oh, that's what Phil thinks about that issue. Not necessarily that's the truth, that's what I think about it. It's very much part of an opinion piece.
Good, bad, and angry feedback proudly thumbtacked to the walls around his desk.
Even though I think it's not as respected as it used to be, I think it's having its best moment right now ever in the history of the genre.
Got a call coming in at Abundant Life Christian Church for a shooter, just advising someone was shot. Copy. Let's make this an active shooter incident.
3 words no educator wants to hear,
We all do prepare for it.
but rings in their minds from the first bell to the last.
Nothing you do to prepare will make sure that it will never happen to you.
And the front entrance to the back.
No one can ever guarantee 100% safety.
Educators say they're working to balance the equation of students being safe and feeling safe.
Making sure that people aren't feeling like they're in a space that's not welcoming and not inclusive.
Not make school feel like a fortress.
Embedding social emotional work and mental health practices into lesson plans.
We realize it's about how do we work with our students in order to ensure that they all feel seen and heard.
Wisconsin also has a statewide reporting system through the Office of School Safety.
Then we're able to accurately assess that and create a plan that keeps that school safe and gets that child the help that they need.
In hopes of hearing less of those 3 words.
Copy. Let's make this an active shooter incident.
And seeing more future graduates.
It makes it hard to teach them when they're worried about survival.
Reporting in Madison, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.